What's up, guys, and welcome to part 2 of this install series type of thing that we're doing here. As I said in the last video, this is our helper bag system. This is Airlift 1000. This offers, as you can see, up to 1,000 pounds load leveling capacity. These are just meant to help me when I hook up a trailer, keep the truck a little bit more level, as I said in the last video. And they insert right inside of my coil. So what we got to do is we got to kind of fish it up and into the coil. And we're going to do this whole install. You're going to watch pretty much almost all of it as we go through. So as you can see, there's a valve at the top. Keep that on for now. These go right on top of here, just like so. And then we have our air line to run it back. I kind of probably should have put this together a little bit better. So zip ties to zip tie up the air line after we figure out how we're going to route that. These seem to be two filler valves. I'm assuming you probably, some guys might want to run two. As you can see, it's pretty much just like a fill in a tire, not a big deal. Also comes with caps for both. We are going to run just one. There is really no need for me to run two, so we're going to run basically one line from each bag into each side of this, one line out of that, and then we have an assortment of little tiny clips for the airlines. And then we have the necessary hardware to put this somewhere. Now, the goal here is they say, oh, we'll drill into the body or something like that, blah, blah, blah. I want to try to use, I don't know if you can really see it. There's a hole right here in my hitch. You can't really see it. There it is. This hole is what I would prefer to use. Just put it right on there, and then it shouldn't be in the way of anything, but it might be in the way of the pin that goes through here. So, but I don't want to drill into my truck anywhere, and I need it easily accessible. So that's something we're gonna cross that bridge when we come to it. So let's kind of hop right at what we're supposed to be doing here. Again, I'm going to try to get this to where you can kind of watch me do it. So the whole thing about this is, take this off, take off your little thing off the top so you can squeeze it. Now you're supposed to be able to fold this bag, which I hear is not very easy. Squeeze it up through the coil. Yeah, they weren't lying when they said this wasn't going to be easy. Alright, so I kind of figured out something really quick. You want to roll it up a little bit just to keep it flat. Take your thing, put it back on there so it doesn't intake any air, and then boom, you got a flat air spring. This makes this a little bit easier, or it's supposed to make it easier. So hopefully this will work the way it says it's going to. Try to go through the lowest opening. Just give it a little fold there. Now I can honestly say this is going to take a little bit of manipulation to try to get it in there. Obviously take your time, be very careful with the bag itself. I don't think it would rip, but I obviously don't want it to. This is really not want to go. Well, I'm easily figuring out keeping it just flat. It's not making this very enjoyable. Let's see if we can maybe fold it in half, make this a little easier. This is a really, I will give them that. This is one hell of a durable product, because this does not want to move. If we can kind of get it to fold, might actually have a little bit more hope in this. I'm just trying to manipulate it a little bit. Slowly move it up through the coil. It is moving. You just kind of make it want to do what you want it to do. It's kind of fight with it a little bit. No one said it was going to be easy. Some people have said this is very difficult, which it isn't too bad. It's just kind of a pain. So it's just kind of slowly working it up. Again, from the lowest point that we can get to. Probably wondering, well, why are you showing us you struggled through this? Because I don't like install videos where kind of, you know, when you're dealing with something that's like this, it's a little bit more difficult. You know, you kind of want to see that. You know, a lot of people want to gauge, well, I don't know if I should do this on my own or if I should have somebody do this for me, kind of thing. And when you don't show people how difficult it is, if it is difficult, like this is not, like I said, this isn't that bad, but it is being a real pain. You know, but seeing me struggle with it kind of helps you gauge whether or not you're like, I really don't want to do that, or maybe you do really want to give it a shot. Because I've seen people, you know, especially in the reviews and stuff, say that, you know, it takes up to 2 hours to really get the whole system in, to, you know, from getting this bag in to getting the airlines ran. I don't think it's going to take us that long. So obviously I don't want to make a 2-hour-long video for you guys to have to watch to get this done. So again, we're just trying to sort of manipulate this bag a little bit. The problem is with it flat, it doesn't want to move up through the coil. So kind of got to fold it a little bit. And every time I do that, it moves up a little bit. I will say my hands are starting to hurt a little bit doing this. And I'm sure someone's probably done this and there's probably an easier way to do it. Unfortunately, I don't know what that way is at the moment, and I wish I did. But, you know, we're doing what we can with what we got. Again, just trying to more or less kind of massage it into place. You know, taking due care of the bag though. Obviously, you don't want to, like I said, I don't want to rip it. I don't want to damage it in any way because, you know, we are putting it into the coil. I don't want to have to try to take it out. Once it's in there, I hope to leave it in there and it just live there forever. So that's kind of the goal. We almost got it in. So that's a big plus. Now, I think I want to fold the bottom. This piece, this part on the bottom, I kind of want to fold it down and see if I can just slide it in. That'd be very helpful if we can do that. Yep, it's kind of doing it. Maybe it might make this a little bit more easy. So now it's a little more, I guess, for a little straighter, I guess. Maybe try to get the bottom fit its way in there. We need these. It's cheap, you know, $100. Now there's other, take a little break, give my hands a second. There are other ways that you can do this. They do make bag systems that will actually connect right here to your bump stop. So you can actually get an actual a bag set up to where, you know, you just remove the bump stop and then there's an airbag here. Or they make these very large bump stop style pieces that can take load. They just stick down a lot lower, so once the truck gets to about where the level portion of it is, where it's about level, it ends up touching this and basically holding the truck up. That was an option for me. It was 200 and I believe 60 bucks, 70 bucks for those. And I thought about it, but some guys were, I did read that, you know, some guys didn't like them because when you're not towing, they're kind of a pain. You can, like, if you hit a big bump or bottom out or anything like that, you can feel them kind of hit, and it takes away from the ride quality a little bit, they were saying. So thought about it, but then I was like, well, maybe not. All right, looks like we might have Jenga. All right. So just pull this off, the little cap, let it fill with air a little bit once we really have it in there. Make sure it gets properly inflated and then it's in there good. There it goes. See? Just like that. So that wasn't too bad. Recording time, about 8-9 minutes. So it wasn't too bad. It was a bit of a struggle, but we got it in. So let's get the other piece. Again, this is the top piece. This goes right over the valve. So you just slide it in and set it right on top. So you can see here, just slide it right over top of the valve through the center. Bam. That bag is in. So what we're gonna do now is I'll get the other bag in, and then once I have the other bag in, then we'll start routing the airlines. I'll show you how I'm going about doing that, why I'm putting it where I'm putting it, so on and so forth. So in an effort to make this video not too long, now that you've seen how the one bag went in, how we got it in, I'll put the other one in on my own, and then we'll be back. So just like that, we are. All right, so we got the bags in on both sides. I don't know if you see it over there, bags in over there. That actually took a lot less time, probably half the time. I mean, it didn't really take that long in the first place. It only took about, what, maybe 6 minutes to get it in the last time. So it only took about 3-4 minutes to get that one in. Again, it wasn't easy, but it went in there. Now we're gonna start routing this supplied airline. I went through, there's like a little hole up here through the frame. I went through there, up and into the top of the coil, and then you just lift this up, use a supplied clip, push it down on there. Obviously, make sure it does go through this. Push it down on there and put the clamp on there, and then we can start with this. Now, I don't like these. I never did like these type of clamps. These ones where this is a 2-prong, because when you try to get your pair of pliers on there, sometimes you can only bite one, you don't get the other one, and it's just a pain in the butt. So that's one thing I don't like. But we're gonna take a look underneath the truck here, and we kind of want to make sure that we run it up and along the frame is what I want to do. So you can see, I do want to keep it up and away from the exhaust system. Obviously, it's not too horribly bad heat-wise for when you're back here with the exhaust, but I don't want to take any chances of melting this airline. You know, don't want to be towing down the road and then one of my bags deflate because the airline's going. So we're gonna go up, over, in behind the hitch. Just kind of pull it through, make sure it doesn't get stuck on anything, make sure you don't slice the line. All right, so as you can see, or not see, there's a little hole there. I'm gonna zip tie it up back here by where that hole is. There's a little harness there. I'm gonna give it a little, push it through the hole, give it a little bit of slack, so that it has slack on top of the spring, so you know, any movement or whatever like that. And then we're just gonna go up and zip tie it up along the frame, top of the frame, away from the exhaust system. And then we went back up over the frame again, right here. And then I brought it down. We want it to go just like that, right behind the hitch. So then I know for a fact this is all out of the way, not near any moving parts or anything like that, but that's kind of what we're gonna do on both sides. And then what we'll do is we'll run it. So here's the bottom of the hitch. We're just gonna run them both from this side to this side, and then we'll just run it a single line. Probably gonna, there's no hole back here, obviously, as you can see, there's no hole that goes to this one up here, which is where I want to put that Schrader valve. So we'll probably run the T to right here to right next to it, and then just run a single line that goes over to the Schrader valve. So that's kind of what the goal is. The angle of which I would have to turn that line might be more than I want to, so, but we could always drill into the hitch if I have to. I'd prefer not to drill anything on my truck, but if we gotta drill a small hole in the hitch to accompany the Schrader valve, that's fine. But I'm not drilling into the body of my truck or the bumper. So let's I'll get the lines routed, and then yeah, we'll be back with the when we start to put the T on and get the Schrader valve put in place, and if we got to drill it out, then we'll go through that. So give me just a second. Okay, so here let's get the update of where we're at here. So I got, again, bags on both sides, right? They're where they're supposed to be. Airline runs up on this side along the frame, same thing as the other side, you know, keeping it up away from the exhaust system, and then up over through the hitch. This one comes down a little bit farther. It is a little bit, I guess, longer than the other side is, a little more neat with the other side, but again, same thing, up through the frame, and it tees in right here. So we got the T right here for the for both airlines coming in right behind the spare tire, so I can still get the spare tire down without messing with the airlines, and I can get it back up without messing with the airlines. And then it just tees off and it goes right here, and then you have the nut and then the little star lock washer that will go on. So I got the drilled out the part of the hitch for the hole and got those on there already, because that was, I drilled the hole a little bit too high, so it was actually kind of a pain to get that in there. That's the only reason why I didn't film it. So again, you have enough stuff. If you were to air up the bags individually, you know, you have another valve, and then you have the hardware for it. So what we need now is you put this piece on first, then a flat washer, then the other nut, tighten it down, and then obviously you have the tire style cap. This is how much line I had left over, so there was plenty of airline. As you can see, I did leave a lot more slack than I guess I really wanted to in the passenger side line. So what we're gonna do now is, well, first of all, let's get you your stand. I should really buy a tripod. You know, now that I'm thinking about it at the moment, I should really buy a tripod. So then you guys can see what I'm doing, and I don't have to find really strange things to set you on. Okay, again, black one first, which this one's kind of tight. I don't want to rip it or anything, so let's see if I can. And there it goes. It's all right. Got to back up. So again, this one's pretty tight. Oh, we'll get it on there. Just kind of got to massage it back there. I think it's all the way to the back. All right. Flat washer. Slide that on. And your nut. And spin that. All right, now just get a wrench, right size here. Oh no, that is totally not the right size. So put that back. It's weird. I notice when I make videos and stuff, I always hold the camera down here because it's just like a natural where my arm goes, and I realize I gotta hold it more up here so I'm more like looking at you. Still getting used to this whole recording everything thing. Let's try that. Nope, it was the size I thought it was. Not going to reef it on super duper tight, but I did want to make sure that it's on there and it's not going to come off. And then we'll just put that on there for now. That's the gist of that. So I'm not going to air the bags up right now. I don't have that style like air chuck to do it. So also, you know, as I was doing the install, the only thing that I wish I had was like a pressure gauge. Like maybe installed like a small air pressure gauge behind the fitting, so that like you know, if I'm out of town or something like that, and I can, for one, easily read how much pressure is in the bags. But not only that, I can, you know, just fill it up at like a gas station that doesn't have a, you know, because a lot of gas stations now have the air chuck for your tires, and then it has its own, you know, pressure readout. But there are plenty that don't. So, you know, if you can't see how much air you're putting in, that's not exactly like the best of things. So maybe that's an addition that we'll put on at some point. You know, just take the put it somewhere in line with the T. If I was going to do it, I'd probably try to still mount it to this somewhere, and then put it in this area right here. Like take this piece off, use some of the extra line that I have left, or even trim that one down and put like a little pressure gauge in between, so that I could actually see how much pressure is in the bags at that time. So that's it, guys. Again, airlift 1000, kind of a pain in the ass to put in, but really not that bad. Went pretty smoothly. Running the lines went pretty smoothly. They are barb fittings, so they are kind of a pain in the ass to get on. But outside of that, I mean, it really wasn't that bad. Came with everything that I needed, as the kit is concerned, and worked out great. So if you guys are stopping in for the first time, hit that subscribe button. If you like videos like this, or like this video specifically, hit that like button. And if you guys want me to do more install videos, and we do have some maintenance that's coming up that we got to get done on the truck. We have to do the transmission filters so that's got to get done. I'd also like to swap out the spark plugs, which on this truck is kind of a pain, because for one, there are 16 spark plugs on this truck, and two, the ones in the back are really hard to get to, and there's like a little bit of a trick to that. So If you guys want to see videos, more videos like this or videos like that, leave a comment below. But until the next time, guys, deuces.